Okay, so let me use this medium to welcome you all to another edition of our class. The one we had on Sunday was very interesting and very insightful, and based on what we covered on Sunday, we decided to extend the class till today so that we'll be able to cover more because there are questions and there are also other concerns that we also had to deliberate and deal with. So that was why we had to move part of that class till today, and I'm happy to see some of us here. I'm sure other people will join us. Okay, so continuing from where we stopped, Dr. Goodluck Norom will continue to carry us from where we stopped on literature review. Okay, so I wanted to just feel comfortable and relaxed and make contributions where you think you want to make contributions, ask questions where you want to ask questions. By God's grace, if we are not able to exhaust whatever we have this evening before 1 hour, we will have to extend the class by another 1 hour or 30 minutes, and that might intend us to rejoin the link again. So by the time we get to that, I will let us know, and then also let us know how to rejoin. Thank you very much, Mr. Goodluck. I think you can fire on now so that we can see how far we can cover. Thank you very much.
All right, Mecca, thank you for this opportunity once again. I really do appreciate, and I want to welcome our participants to this webinar on literature review. Like I would usually say, students often struggle with literature review. Um, Often struggling with how to do it properly. And so part of this discussion today, just like we started last time, is to look at literature review properly. How do we synthesize? How do we get ideas from different authors to be able to come up with our own ideology? All right. So tonight I'm going to be making this as practical as possible using the topic that one of the topics that was shared in the group. So if you're in the group chat, you find out that there are about three topics that were shared there, and one of them is leadership style. So I'm going to use the leadership style topic, all right, to do the practical for today's session. So I would like you to follow me meticulously so that we can be able to do justice to this. And so if you look at the topic says leadership styles and employee productivity in food and beverage companies. All right, for literature review, we're not really focused on the domain. The domain, usually your topic is divided into three: the independent variable, the dependent variable, and the domain. All right, so we're just focusing on how to do a proper literature review on the independent and dependent variable. So now, in this topic, the first thing I want us to do is to look at the independent variable, which is leadership style. Okay. Now, the dependent variable is employee productivity. Now, for you to do a proper literature review, you want to break down first. You want to break down the variables into at least three sub-variables each. Okay. So, the first question you ask yourself in trying to know how to break a main variable down is to ask leadership style, what is it? How do you define it? And then you'll all agree with me that some people would refer to leadership style as perhaps a particular method or pattern that a leader adopts at a particular point in time in trying to um, in trying to lead his or her subordinates. That is what leadership style is. Now the question is, these leadership styles now, how many are they? Are there types of leadership style? Are there forms of leadership style? And if you're a management student, you'll agree with me that one of the first set of leadership styles that we were taught was the participating leadership style, the autocratic leadership style, and then some people will say the laissez-faire leadership style. Now, that is one way to categorize, you know, leadership style. And if you want to go by that categorization, then you already have for yourself three good sub variables to measure leadership style. Then you want to now go to employee productivity and see how you can also break it down into maybe like three or four. Now, you ask yourself, what is employee productivity, or what are the indicators of employee productivity? So you know that a productive employee can be someone who comes to work early, maybe is always punctual at work. You also find out that a productive employee is such that is able to complete his or her task on time. So you want to look at maybe task completion rate as one of the variables to measure employee productivity. And then you may also want to take it a step further by saying a productive employee might be someone who is, you know, committed to work. So you may want to now pick up employee commitment as a measure of employee productivity. Okay, that is just, I'm just giving you what you can do on a face value to actually get variables for your studies. Now you can see that what I shared with you now, I have not looked at any article. I'm just, trying to think of what this is and what could possibly come out of it or out of them as sub variables. But what if we now decide to say, let's go to the literature? Let's find out what the literature has to say about leadership style and employee productivity. So we're going to the literature now to see how we can get ideas that can help us with whatever we are doing. So how many of us know how to use Google Scholar very well? All right. So if you know how to use Google Scholar, just use your best emoji. Respond with your best emoji, please, so that we can follow through. All right. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. At least we have one person that knows how to use Google Scholar. So now I'm going to share my, I'm going to open a browser. I'm going to open a browser and I'm going to share that browser with us of Google Scholar so that we can look at how to actually, use Google Scholar for literature review and yeah. So we can see my screen right now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, good. So the topic we're working with leadership style and employee productivity. So what you want to do first is when you want to search, don't search with the two variables at once. Especially when you want to get measures of these variables separately. Don't search with the two variables at once. Search for them separately. And then later, you can now search for the two variables together so that you can get articles that actually link them up. But when you are trying to get variables to measure the independent and dependent variable, you should try as much as possible to have the variables searched separately. So I'm going to go with leadership style. If you're writing down, please make sure you are writing down so that you can always practice this later on. It's very important. So I'm going to go with leadership styles. So I've typed that in, and now this is my search result. Now, one thing that Google Scholar will always do for you is that some of these search results are actually grouped by years. So let's assume you really want to work with citations or with articles that are very current. The moment you search first, Google Scholar is going to bring out results from different years, both current and old years. But you want to restrict yourself to, a particular range of years. So for me, I always like to restrict myself to 2019 down to the current year. So all you just need to do is go to the left side of your Google Scholar search and then click on custom range. The moment you click on custom range, then you type in 2019 as your base year. So the moment you type in 2019, you click on search. So it's going to bring out articles from 2019 down to 2024 for you so that you can, have current citations and articles to deal with. Now let's look at the first article. The first article there says leadership styles and leadership behavior. Now we're not interested in leadership behavior, we're only interested in leadership style. But let's open this article. I hope it's a free article. Let's open it and see if we can look at, or if you can get variables that were used to measure leadership style in that particular study. So this article is published on Science Direct. So I'm going to click on the HTML link so it can take us to the website where the article is being published. I don't know, it's a free article now. Um, okay, I don't think this is a free article, not at all. Come in. Okay, it's a free article.
Try to view
Yeah.
the PDF.
Yes, it's a free article, so we can actually view the PDF. It's a free article, thank God. So I'm opening the PDF. I'm sorry, it's like my network is a bit messy, but
Yeah, we are
hopefully
following.
we do. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So now, one thing you must also do as you are doing all this your search, please make sure you have your biro and your jotter with you, or if you are good with your computer, you can open a tab or a Microsoft Word tab on one side so that you can be jotting down ideas that you are getting as you're doing your search. It's very important because you are going to fall back to these ideas when you are, ready to synthesize and put your studies properly. So I have my biro and paper here, but for the sake of this class, I'm going to use a Microsoft Word application. So later I will share what I have been able to pull out from these discussions. So don't forget it's a practical section. All right. So leadership styles and behavior. I am more interested in seeing the variables or the types of leadership style that were used in this study. So follow through as I scan through. Now you need to look at the introduction. The introduction says different leadership styles in family firms that are dominated by blah 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 have received scholarly attention. Now they are trying to make us understand that there are different styles of leadership that are used in family-based businesses. And these leadership styles have received a lot of what? Attention. Now let's go to the literature review and let's see if some of these leadership styles were properly identified. Let's go to the literature review. Okay, it's a systematic literature review, so let's keep going. I'm sure we'll find somewhere where they have. Okay, Janice, you said it's not showing. It is true. I need to share the sharing pattern on Google Meet somehow. Let me go back and share it. Sorry, Janice, thank you for pointing me back to it. Present something else. Coming, coming. Please, I'll be with you shortly. PDF science direct and all that. Let's see. Okay, I've got it. Okay, so you can see it now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, good. Now let's look at these findings in the literature. Look at these findings in the literature. Already, when you scroll through and you begin to look at the second column, all right, look at this leadership styles and leadership behavior in family firms. Blah, 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 blah. Now, look at this. I'm going to highlight some. Look at some of the leadership styles that were identified in this article. Look at them: autocratic leadership style, expert leadership style, laissez-faire leadership style, participative leadership style, reference leadership style, transactional leadership style, and transformational leadership style. So, what it means is that this article, which was published in 2021, actually acknowledged the existence of different types of leadership styles, of which you have one, two, three, four, five, six, and seven of them. There are more styles of leadership, but this article acknowledged only seven of them. So when you are discussing or when you are doing your literature review on leadership style, all right, and you want to quote this article, you are going to be citing this article as identifying the existence of or acknowledging the existence of seven different styles of what? Of leadership. So, like I will do, all I just need to do is copy out this leadership style. I've copied it. You might not see my Microsoft Word pad for now, but I will share it with you later. So I will go to my Microsoft Word pad and I will paste these leadership styles I have copied. I will paste them in. Then the next thing I want to do is, because you don't want to lose track of this article, you now want to go back to Google Scholar. Okay, you want to go back to Google Scholar to now get that reference, to get the reference of that article. So I'm going back to Google Scholar right now to get the reference of that article, as the case may be, because we actually need it. We need it later on. So um, this having to switch tabs and all this, it's really hectic, but it's fine. So this is Google Scholar right now. So all you just need to do is, when you're working with Google Scholar, there is an icon below the search, each of the search results, that says cite. So just click on it, and then the different citation style that you want, different citation styles will come up, and then you just copy the one you want. For now, we're interested in APA citation style. So I'll just copy my APA here, and I'll go to down my WordPad and paste this reference there. Now, after pasting this reference, under it, I will just write note. The meaning of this note for me is that different types of leadership style have been identified by these authors, Fries, Kamelanda, and later stuff 2021. So I'm going to say note. Fries et al. Fries et al. Different identified seven different leadership styles. Seven different leadership styles. So this Fries et al. We have to put the date, which is 2021. That is when the article was published. Now, I'm going to pause there. Don't forget, we have been able to get seven types of leadership style from this Fries et al. Now, if you want to also do more work on this Fries et al. Paper, if you want to do more work on it, you may want to go further to see how each of these leadership styles have been defined. Now, I'm going to switch back to the article. Okay, I'm going to switch back to it so that we can look at how leadership style was actually, all those leadership styles were actually explained in that article. So if you look at that, my article, or if you look at the article properly, you'll find out that when you look at, the author asked us to look at table 2 for definitions. In fact, let me even shock you. By the time you look at where I copied that um, context from, if you read further, it says, additionally, we will elaborate on the conceptual overlap with the 5 leadership behaviors identified in family firm research. For them, okay, I told you we're not interested in leadership behavior, we're only interested in leadership style. So fine. Now, if you go forward, you find out that autocratic leadership style was talked about a little bit, but you may want to read this article further so that you can be able to get the different individual definitions of these different leadership styles according to what these authors have said. But I'm going to pause there. Good. Can you see this table now? There's a table there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to zoom in so that we can see. Now, if you look at this table properly, you find out that they were able to now tell us who autocratic leaders are. They were able to tell us what expert leadership is. They were able to tell us what laissez-faire leadership is. So all you just need to do is, if you want, you can copy some of the ideas in this, from this table, so that you can use it to substantiate what you have copied before. But you're not done, because you are still going to synthesize all of that. So All I may just do is I may just be interested in copying autocratic leaders are described to act contrary to participative leaders by making decisions without consulting others. So let's say I want to just stop there because you don't have to um, work of another person verbatim. It's not good. It's not proper. So I may just want to copy the first sentences as we have it in in this work. Just follow me. I'm going to teach you a trick that will really help you today. I just want to copy the first sentences. I'm just going to teach you a trick that will really help you in doing your literature review properly today. Okay, let's say we're just interested in three leadership styles: autocratic, expert, and participative. So let me copy the one for participative and just leave it. So we're not interested in others. Now, from what we have done so far, we have gotten from this article, we have gotten three variables to measure our leadership style. Now, don't forget, you don't have to limit yourself to just one article. By the time you open other articles, you also find out that it's possible that some of these leadership styles were used in other studies as well. So you have to also find out those studies so that when you are discussing, you have citations that will support your ideology as the case may be. So to make sense of that, I'm going to go back to Google Scholar so that we can look at um, one more article that talks about leadership style and see what sense we can make of it. So I'm back to Google Scholar. Don't forget it was the first article that we worked on. Now I'm going to try to look at the second article. The second article was also published in 2021 and it says leadership styles and nurses job satisfaction. So the link for this article is by the right. I will just click on it. It's from MDPI. So I will click on it. The PDF has downloaded to my computer. I'm going to open it and I will share it with us so that we can also follow through. Please, if you are following me, let me know. If I'm too fast, let me know. If you are following through, indicate with an emoji so that I will know, yes, that I'm actually carrying you along. Very important. Thank you. All right. So, can you see my screen now? I don't think so.
We can, we can.
You can't now. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. All right, good. So I'm going to zoom out on this a little bit. So don't forget, I told you that we're just interested in leadership style. So let's look at this article and see what leadership styles were used. Now, if you look at the abstract of this article, you may find out that, especially around the findings, let's look at what we have here. So from 11 initial title studies were selected. Of these, 88% showed a significant correlation between leadership styles and nurses' job satisfaction. Now, the article went further to break down this leadership style. The first one is transformational leadership style. Okay. The second one is authentic leadership style. The third one is resonant leadership style. And the fourth one is servant leadership style. I'm sure the article also went ahead to talk about, because it's in the abstract, they also talked about passive, avoidant, and laissez-faire leadership style. And then I'm sure they also talked about transactional leadership style. So you see that the first article we looked at, which was from Fries et al. 2021, they identified 7 different leadership styles, which some of them were also mentioned in this second article. But in this second article, we are now seeing some entirely new different leadership style, which are different from the initial one in those articles. Now, the reason I'm going this way is that when you are doing your literature review, you are supposed to be critical and you're supposed to synthesize ideas. So the ideas you're going to synthesize are ideas from different articles. And you can see the way I'm pulling out some of these variables from these different articles, you can see that it's a lot of work. But when you practice it over and over, you become an expert in it, and it won't be an issue for you again. So I'm going to from this abstract, I'm going to pull out some of these leadership style. So let's say I'm just interested in transformational. I'm also interested in, yeah, let's pick the first four: transformational, authentic leadership style, and resonant leadership style. So I'm going to copy it, and I'll still go to my Microsoft Word document, okay, and I'm going to paste it there. So when I'm done, don't forget, I don't need to go back to Google Scholar. When I'm done, the same thing I did on Google Scholar, go back to that article link, click on cite so that you can get the citation. I have done that already. I've shown you how to do it. I don't need to show you again. So I've copied it, then I have pasted it, and I've put my note to indicate that this reference actually supports the four leadership styles that I copied out. So in their study, Speechia et al. 2021 identified four leadership styles amongst, or we are selecting four leadership styles from the different leadership styles that were identified in the study of Speechia et al. 2021. So I've put my notes there. I'm going to show you how to really play around with all this so that you can get something meaningful from what you are doing. Now, how many of us know how to use AI very well to do research? Because now that I've gotten some of these skeletons, we are now going to see how we can use AI to synthesize, right? AI can help us do some of this work, okay? AI can do it for us. All you just need to do is you need to learn how to use AI properly. A lot of people don't know how to use AI, so they want AI to do all the work for them. No, that's wrong use of AI. You have to do this homework first that we just did. You have to identify your variables. You have to get the ideologies behind them. Then you can now use AI to synthesize all these ideas together. Are we on the same page?
Yeah, yeah.
So um, now I have gotten these ideologies from two different sources. Now I already have some studies I did on leadership style, and this is actually the way I went about getting them. So I won't stress us again to start getting, how to do that. I've shown you how to do it with two articles. So the next thing I'm just going to do now is to go to the one for employee productivity. I've mentioned before that you can use task completion rate, you can use employee commitment, and then which other one? Punctuality. You can use punctuality, or you can use any other variable that indicates employee productivity. It depends. So now I'm going back to my Google Scholar, and I'm going to, the same way we did for leadership style, I'm just going to impute employee productivity into Google Scholar. I will show you how to do it again because I already showed you how to do it with um, leadership style so that we can be faster than this. So I have been able to get one article on employee productivity, and this article is titled Impact of Health Literacy on Employee Productivity. Maybe I will just share it with us quickly. It's faster to share now. Let me share it with us quickly. Please, if I'm boring you, you can let me know. Please.
We are together, bro. No.
Thank you.
Wow.
All right, so this is the article I got from Google Scholar. It's a 2019 article on employee productivity, impact of health literacy on employee productivity. Now, we just want to see if it's possible that employee productivity was broken down in this article. So again, we just scan through the abstract. So let's see what we have here. Employee productivity and literacy, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Employers can also maximize the productivity benefits of technology and a happy work environment by carefully assessing the tools and technology employed in. Okay. The abstract is not really giving us the variables or the ideas as to how employee productivity is being measured. Let's see if we can find that in the introduction. Employee productivity is critical for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, this is blah blah blah. High levels of productivity can indicate that a company is well managed and capable. Employees who can. Now, can we see something? If you look at that first paragraph, I hope you can see this article very well. I just want to increase it again.
Yes, yes.
If you look at the first paragraph towards the last part, you will just see that what I mentioned before is almost what is in this article. Look at this. Employees who can complete their work, what? Efficiently.
Efficiently.
Is that not what is there?
Yeah.
Now, can you see that it really rhymes with, or it relates with, or resonates with
Task completion.
what I mentioned about task completion? Are we together?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to teach us how we can make sense of whatever we are reading. So all I just need to do while reading this article, once I stumble upon this, make sure you also have a PDF that can annotate for you. My PDF can annotate. I can decide to just say, okay, this makes a lot of sense, and then I will just highlight it. I will just make it, maybe highlight it in green, so that I can come back to it. Let me just take it up to. I'm coming. I got this. All right. Let me take it up to. Let me take it up a notch, up to productivity, efficiently. Yeah, good. So I highlight. I put it in green. So now I may want to come back to this because I'm trying to look at how to measure employee productivity using this article. Now that's on that part. Let's keep reading and see if we can find something else. Employees who can function efficiently are more likely to feel a sense of achievement and pleasure in their employment. This might lead to increased motivation, contribution to the. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see if we can find something else. Productivity is significant since it's an indicator of progress. Companies that can consistently provide high quality services in a timely manner have a better chance of meeting their goal. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Research is not easy, but it's interesting.
I tell you.
We read articles. In fact, on the average every day, I read average. I'm not going to lie. I read about 10 articles on average every day, except maybe weekends or maybe when I'm in Saturday when I'm in church or something when I have to go to church. But on the average every day, I read average of 10 articles every day. Monitoring the ability to manage numerous approaches. Let's keep going. Okay, let's look at this. Health literacy and employee productivity.
I can see absenteeism somewhere.
Yes. I'm following through. Let me also highlight employee absenteeism. It might make sense for us later. And then also make sure your PDF is also able to add comments. Okay, make sure you're able to also add comments to your PDF. It's very important because you might want to still come back to them later. So this is important. Yeah. So as so defined as the chronic intentional trend of skipping work without blah blah blah, reduce productivity. So you see, employee absenteeism is a negative measure. Is the flip side of you know
Productivity.
presenteeism. No, presenteeism is also bad. Absenteeism is the flip side when you're looking at the negative aspect of employee productivity. You want to look at an employee that is not productive and all that. You want to look at their level of absenteeism. How many times do they skip work? You know, and all. Don't mind me, I'm really taking time so that we can do justice properly to this. This is actually how we read articles. You have to just read. That's the truth. If you rely on AI will do it for you, but you will not know it. won't be able to defend it. When people call on you to speak, you won't have the words to
Mm-hmm.
share with them. So you must read. Okay, I think we'll just stop somewhere here. I just want to let me just scan. Let me scan more. See. Now look at this. Looking at employee commitment. Look at this. It says offering telecommuting, flexible scheduling, and job sharing can all help employees better manage their work and personal commitments. And you can see that this may align to an extent with employee commitment.
Yeah,
I, I hope we are together.
sure.
Good. This can align with employee commitment. Now look at another one, productivity, time management. Another critical part is giving resources to help employees better manage their time and workload, such as time management training tools. So when you want to know an employee that is productive, time management is also an indicator. So I'm going to highlight time management. All right. Now, from this little exercise that we have done on this article, you'll agree with me that we have gotten three variables to measure employee productivity as far as this article is concerned. Now, one thing you must understand is these articles did not really spell out these variables, but we were able to see these variables because we decided to read line by line. So, what I'm trying to, train us on is this. Sometimes you stumble upon an article and it looks like it's a very simple article. So your variables are staring at you, or whatever you're looking at, they are staring at you. You're quick to copy them and move forward. But there are some that will require you to actually read the article. And you can imagine how many minutes we have spent reading this article now to be able to get just these three variables from it. That's actually how to do it. So from this article, we have gotten number one. I think it was yes, task completion. Or from this same article, it's either you have task completion or you have work efficiency. These are like two other variables that you can use to measure employee productivity. So I'm going to go to my Word document again. I'm going to type those variables in for employee productivity. Yes, we have been told that the time is up. Almost. Employee
Almost, yeah.
productivity, I've typed it in. So we have work efficiency, we have task completion. Then I think we also have, what was the last one we were able to come up with?
Commitment.
Employee commitment and time management. Commitment, time management.
Management.
Okay. Now the same thing we did, all you just need to do is go to Google Scholar, copy the reference so that because you are going to be needing it eventually. Okay, so I'm going to Google Scholar right away. I'm copying that article right now. Yeah, 2019. Tears notes 2019 article. Now this is what I'm going to share with us. Please, I beg you in the name of God. Um, when I teach people how to do literature review, thank God back in the days it was a huge struggle, but thank God that there are artificial intelligence tools that can help us with research these days. But if we don't really understand properly how to use some of these artificial intelligence tools, we're going to be running into serious problems. And let me tell you one of the problems you might run into. Um, if you use ChatGPT, for example, and you rely on ChatGPT to provide your references for you will be shocked. Some of you must have experienced that. You'll be shocked that ChatGPT for now will generate fake references for you. And that's very, very disastrous. That's number one. Number two, if you rely on AI so much, you might be having issues with your instructors. And what do I mean by having issues with them? Let's say your instructors know that you are not so fluent in English language. So all of a sudden you are submitting an assignment and the English is 100%. Ah, by the time they read your article or your paper
Yeah, so
and they begin to compare with your spoken English,
and
ah,
you
they begin to struggle with who is this person. So these are dangers of using artificial intelligence. It's not as if you cannot use them. You can use them to get ideas. You can use them to get one or two you know directions, but it doesn't rule out the fact that you still have a lot of work to it doesn't rule out the fact that you still have a lot of work to do as far as your your research is concerned. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT now. Those ideas that I have been able to synthesize to get from these articles, and we're going to tell ChatGPT to do some things for us. Now the beautiful thing is that we're not relying on ChatGPT to do it for us from the scratch. We have done our own homework. We have gotten some articles. We have extracted some ideas from those articles. We now want to use ChatGPT to do what? To fine tune and synthesize properly. So if you're going to be using AI, you must also get ready to also learn how to speak like AI. So that when you throw out your output, when people want to question you and you are there to defend what you have thrown out as an output, nobody will have issues with you. So I'm sharing my ChatGPT screen right away. So you can see my screen now, right?
yes, yes.
All right, good. Now on this my ChatGPT screen is simple. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell ChatGPT. Um, I want you to work with me as a research assistant. Note that you are note that you are highly knowledgeable in the area of leadership style and employee productivity. Okay, don't mind me with all the typos. I'm going to quickly correct that. Now, the reason I'm doing this is that AI is like a machine, and you have to train that machine to understand what you want it to do for you. So I'm trying to let it understand that it's an expert in this area that we want to work on. So I'm just going to enter and it will give me a reply. Definitely. So it's telling me this sounds like a great opportunity. If you need assistance in blah 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 CV, no, I'm not interested in CV. I'll just tell it no. It is based on academic research. So I'm just trying to train it to be able to flow with me. Simple. Now we are ready to start. So what I'm going to do now is the extracts that I copied out. I'm going to copy it the way it is. and I will tell it, thank you, based on the above. Thank you, based on the above. Kindly note this content and just reply done. And just reply done. So, of course, it will reply me that it is done. Good. Now we have loaded what we want into ChatGPT. So the question now is, we want ChatGPT to do, you can just tell it to provide, based on the above, provide a synthesized one paragraph discussion on leadership styles. And let's see what it can give us. Now, can we see what we are able to generate from what we have been able to gather from literature? Who can read for us? I want somebody to read, not Rebecca this time. I want somebody who is following to read for us. I want somebody to read, please. Should I call him? Janice, where are you? Janice Lawansi, are you still here? Aderemi, are you still here?
Yes, sir.
Please read for us.
Okay, sir. Sir, leadership style play a critical role in shaping organizational dynamics and employee outcomes. Fried Eto 2021 identified 7 distinct leadership styles, including autocratic, participative, and expert leadership, each characterized by unique decision-making, approach and interaction patterns with employees. Autocratic leaders make decisions independently, often leading to a lack of employee engagement, while participative leaders prioritize inclusivity and consensus building, which, sorry, I'm using my phone. It's not.
It's all right. It's all right. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Which enhance employee commitment and collaboration. Additionally, expert leadership emphasizes the significance of knowledge and competence among both management and non-management employees, fostering informative.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir.
Thank you for trying your best. You have done well. But one thing I want you to just understand is that you can see where we started from and you can see where we have arrived at. So I am not the kind of researcher that will tell people don't use AI. I will tell you go ahead and use AI. But I will also let you know the dangers in using AI. And I also let you know the benefits of using AI. You can see that when we started, I did not go to AI straight. I went first to Google Scholar to look at articles that addresses the topic I want to work on. Then I picked out ideologies from these articles, all right? Put them together before telling AI to now synthesize and produce something that is very, very cogent. And we can see the result as the case is. All right. So this is how you can do. Now you can see from what we have done, we have not plagiarized. We did not copy and paste anybody's work to present it as our own work. No, we actually were able to pick ideologies from 2 or 3 different articles, and this is what we have been able to arrive at, as the case may be. Now, please, because again, it is dangerous to just copy what ChatGPT has given you to submit as an assignment or as a project. Are we together? Are we together?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
Good. So when ChatGPT has given you this, copy it, paste it on your Microsoft Word, and do what we call paraphrasing. Now, I'm going to tell us how to paraphrase right now. I'm going to share my Microsoft Word document, and I will show you how to paraphrase. It's very important. I'll show you how to paraphrase. Okay. Now I'm sharing my screen now. Let me drop this and present something else. Where are you now? Is this you? I think so. Okay, so we can see can we see my Microsoft screen now?
Not yet.
Oh, really?
Okay, I can see it now.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that we can follow through. Now, this is what ChatGPT gave us. Please, don't say you are in a rush and you just decided to copy it and paste like that. No. The new Turnitin software now can detect AI. So when your work is run through Turnitin, you can show the AI score. Sorry, just 2 minutes. All right, thank you. I'm back. Now, please do not copy verbatim and paste. Don't say you are in a haste and that was why you could not paraphrase or something. You paraphrase. And now, how do you paraphrase? Let me tell you how you can paraphrase. Have it at the back of your mind that as a researcher, you need to have what we call the power of words. What did I say?
Power of words.
Power of words. Now, the power of words will help you at any point in time when you pick any document, you can start working on that document because you have trained yourself to become a researcher and you have the power of different words, synonyms, all right, words that can juxtapose at different points in time. You must train yourself to get to that level. It's very important. Please train yourself. Now, follow through with what I'm doing. Leadership styles play a crucial role in shaping organizational dynamics and employee outcomes. Don't forget that what we are trying to work on is employee productivity. So definitely, I'm going to change that outcome to what? To productivity. Are we together?
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to change it to productivity. I can now say, instead of Fries et al., I can say, according to Fries et al. 2021, I will remove identify. I can say 7 distinct or 7 unique leadership styles, all right, including autocratic, persuasive, and expert leadership styles, have been or are being identified or are identified. I can put a full stop there. Identified. I can put a full stop there and I will say each of these leadership styles, each of these leadership styles are characterized by unique decision-making approaches. And then what word can be used to replace unique? You can just go to your synonym, look at what is there, and you can begin to look at maybe exclusive, yeah. Are characterized by exclusive decision-making approaches and interaction patterns with subordinates in the organization, with subordinates in the organization. Sorry, in the organization. I hope you can see the changes I'm making. Let me track changes so that we can be seeing some of the changes I'm making. Let me track changes. So as I type in, we should be able to track changes. Now I can say, for instance, no, it's not tracking. Sorry. I can say, for instance, autocratic leaders make decisions independently without involving others in the organization. And I can say in the organization, and I can say, and this often leads to lack of employee engagement. I hope you guys can see what I am doing.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
You need to train yourself to be able to write the way I'm writing. I'm not an expert. I'm not the holy grail of writing. But I know a few things that I can tell other people to follow through with what I am doing. And you are sure to be on the right track. There are people that are better than me. But at my level, I can be sure that if you follow my style, you are not going to run into any trouble. So, while participative leaders prioritize inclusivity and consensus building. Now I can decide to change that word or that compound or consensus building, and I can just say they prioritize inclusivity and collaboration amongst peers, which can enhance employee commitment. And then we have collaboration there. I'll just remove it and put something else. I can say which can enhance employee commitment and feelings of identity in the organization. Now you can see how I'm gradually changing what I got from ChatGPT. I'm trying to humanize it, to make it human, to make it look as if I am the one writing eventually, because of course I'm the one writing, but I had to rely on what ChatGPT gave me. But I don't want to submit it like that, so I am now playing with words. I have the power of words, and that's why I'm able to play with them. You must train yourself to have the power of words. Very important. Additionally, expert leadership emphasizes the significance of knowledge and competence among both management and non-management employees. All right? We can decide to just scrap the idea of management and non-management. We can just say among top officials and subordinates. It is the same thing, but I've just decided to use a different language to write it. Among top officials and subordinates. Fostering informed decision making and proper employee empowerment. I'm going to stop there, but you will agree with me that if you allow me to continue going, in the next 2-3 minutes, I'll be done paraphrasing this sentence. By the time you put it on Turnitin, the AI score will be very, very low because I've taken my time to humanize what ChatGPT has given to me. So this is how you're going to do your literature review, and you do it very well. Don't forget that this literature review that we just did is not based on any definition. This one is just based on identifying variables that have been used to measure leadership style. So there are some studies that you may want to do that will require you to just identify how a particular variable is being measured, and that is the only discussion you have to do. If it is definition, it is still the same approach that you follow. Go to the article, look at how a particular variable has been defined, get that definition, paraphrase that definition, get the sources, put them together, go to ChatGPT and tell it to, play around with those definitions to give you something that is unique. When it gives you those things that are unique and synthesized, copy them, paste it on your Microsoft Word, and also try to add your own humanity to it. That is how you are going to run away from copy and pasting, plagiarism, and the problem of AI. Okay? That's how you're going to be running away from them. There's a whole lot we can discuss,
Of course.
but I'm going to pause here again because I believe that there's something they call information overload. If I overload you with a lot of information, you might get confused along the line. But if you can practice this little that I have shared since Sunday, I think Sunday now,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, since Sunday and today, if you can practice one of these little things that I have shared with you, you find yourself improving gradually and every day in your research endeavor. And gradually, you can become a force to reckon with when it comes to research. So, I don't know, with these few points of mine, have I been able to convince you that research is actually interesting and not to confuse you? Anyways, thank you. Now, I want us to ask questions. I'm ready to answer your questions. I don't care. Whatever question it is, I'm ready to answer them. Emeka, thank you. And thank you also, guys, for
Yeah,
listening to me.
thank you, Doctor. Good luck. Do you have questions, please? Do we have questions or comments before we round up? It's been very wonderful, actually. Very, very insightful. In fact, the AI aspect, I'm sure some people are new to it, and it's making a lot of sense. Auntie Shade, are you there?
If you want to learn, if you want to learn how to use AI properly for your research work and you won't run into problems, you can be sure to always call me at any point in time. I know that Emeka is doing a lot of work to give out free lectures, but me, I will charge you money. I'm sorry,
Oh,
I will charge you. Uh-huh. All right, somebody's hand is up. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Okay. Thank you for the lecture, sir. Please, I want to ask further on the issue of reference that you said that ChatGPT can go wrong.
Yes, it can cook it. Yes.
So how can somebody get the actual reference?
Good. If you follow through with what I said, don't rely on ChatGPT to be the one to be giving you the references because for now it will give you wrong references. The only thing you can do is to follow the pattern that I used. I went to Google Scholar first. I got some articles and I copied out the references of those articles. Then I picked different ideas from each of these articles and I put it in a Microsoft document. Then that Microsoft document becomes a resource base that I copied into ChatGPT, including the references of those real articles, that's real references. So once I have done that and I instruct ChatGPT, anything ChatGPT is going to write will now be based on those real references that I have imputed into it. But if you want ChatGPT to be the one to be generating references for you, it's just going to be working like a robot. Of course, it's a robot. It will just be generating things that are not real for you, which you don't want. So that's how you run away from it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, Ashaye.
All right, thank you, sir. Dr. Goodluck. I'm actually outside the house and then but I really appreciate this, especially the use of ChatGPT. I've always seen ChatGPT as something that has to do with fraud. So I have suffered very well.
It's not fraud.
not
If you know how to
not that
use it.
I didn't not that I really didn't know how to use it, but I've always seen it as something like that is somehow fraudulent. So using it would automatically mean that I'm not doing the work myself. But I really appreciate this exposure on a more serious note. But one thing I observed when you copied the work from your MS Word, one thing I observed when you copied it on ChatGPT, or one thing that is not clear to me is that I realized that ChatGPT at some point was now identifying some particular authors. So I saw somewhere, but I wouldn't know if that was how it came in the MS Word when you copied it from Google
Okay.
Scholar.
Let me
So
show
I'm
you.
wondering, is it ChatGPT that actually expanded it that way?
No.
Because, for instance, I use Qbots. I use Qbots to get my references. Sometimes when I don't get the right references on Scholar, because there are times. Okay, so I suffered that so much, not quite long, when I was trying to get APA 7th edition and the reference point of the 7th edition. So
Oh,
everything I was seeing mostly on Google Scholar was more of the sixth edition. So I would just copy it and dump it and all of that. But I realized sometimes when I submitted some of my work that they would say, no, this is not APA. So I would be wondering, what is happening? So I started using Qbot. But just like ChatGPT works, Qbot works that way, but not exactly like this. So I'm not understanding. Is it that ChatGPT will bring the work exactly the way you brought it and start expanding your authors for you, or it's I don't know, like that's my point of confusion anyway.
is
So
it? Are
thank
you
you,
talking
sir.
about? Are you talking about expanding the authors in terms of
Okay,
the?
so you know that when you copied the work and you cited it, there
Yes.
were some works that were et al. Written by more than one or two authors or three.
Okay.
When it got to ChatGPT, I realized that ChatGPT was now quoting each author. So I wouldn't know if that was how you copied it from the MS Word or it was ChatGPT that just gave the author, I mean, that actually specified what the author said, each of them.
Okay.
I
This
wouldn't
is.
know, because I'm not
Let
seeing
me
what I did. I wasn't
let
there
me
when you
walk you
did it.
through. Let me walk you through quickly. Let me walk you
Okay,
through quickly on what I did.
okay,
Now, the first thing I'm going to share that MS Word
okay. Thank you.
quickly, so you will see what it looks like. Where are you now? Okay, I think it's this one. Now, this is the. Can we see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Now, this screen, this is what I was able to extract from Google Scholar. Are we together?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
This is what I extracted from Google Scholar. Fries, Camelanda, later stuff, 2021. All right. Speechia, and then don't forget when I was telling us that when you are trying to put your notes together, always make reference to the citation. So if you see what I did, I said note Fries et al. Because I know that I'm working with APA 7th edition, where when you have a citation with more than two authors, you change it to et al. Properly. You understand? So that's what I did. So when I finished all that, I just copied this content, JJ as it is. So I'm going to show you my my ChatGPT page now. And I will tell you. So from the beginning, for those that followed through, what I did was that I went first. I told ChatGPT what I wanted it to do for me. I told it that I want it to see itself as a research assistant that is highly knowledgeable in the area of leadership style and employee productivity.
Sorry, sir. Do I have to tell ChatGPT that? Do I have to say that when I want to get Do I
Now,
have to say that?
now ChatGPT is a machine.
Okay.
Now, this machine, you have to train it to be able to give you tailored responses. If you don't train it
Okay.
this way, it will give you responses that are too generalistic, that may not really be fitting for what you want to do.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So when I
Okay.
told
Okay.
it, when I told it that, it replied me. I was like, "Oh, it's a good opportunity. If you need assistance in your application or preparation or crafting a CV," and I said, "No, it is based on academic research." So immediately it will rewire itself to begin to see itself from the academic perspective. And that's why it replied me and said, "Got it. If you need assistance with academic research related to leadership style, employee productivity, such as finding relevant literature, formulating research questions, and all that." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." Then Anna said, thank you. Based on the above, kindly note this content and just reply done. Then I just pasted down my Microsoft Word content. Then it just retained this content in its memory and replied me done. Then I now gave it the next command. I said, based on the above, provide a synthesized one paragraph discussion on leadership styles. So it's now began to give me these discussions based on the content I have supplied and based on the references I have imputed into it. And that's why we have this here. So I don't know if I've answered your
Thank you,
question.
sir. Yes, it's so clear now. Yes, now I understand. Thank you so much. Soft life. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, now when you don't finish your PhD, now you can find soft life.
Yes,
Um,
now because I really suffered that time. Now I didn't know all those things. If I'd known, I wouldn't have suffered. And I was racking
you
my
were
brain
not
and all
attending
of that.
webinars. You were not attending webinars. If you were attending, you
I
would
was
have.
attending some for the okay. So for the few things I knew,
Okay,
okay. So
okay.
my husband being a prof would tell me don't use ChatGPT because he's even
Now,
he's
old
even
man.
somebody who is into technology and all that, and he will tell me, I know if you start using it, you will mess it up. You will mess yourself up with it. You won't learn what you're supposed
Well,
to
yeah,
to learn.
that's true.
So that was why I didn't use it. But I was listening to webinar. So through webinar, I got to know Qbot and some of those other apps that I was using
Okay.
that was of tremendous help to me. I also saw a particular app that helps to arrange your whatever. Is it your references? I can't remember them now
Alphabetically.
for now. Alphabetically, then not just alphabetically. It will tell. I forgot him because I'm actually outside, and so
Okay.
I was able to attend some webinars. But this is very
Let me
very
shock
interesting and
you.
cool for me.
Let me
Thank you,
shock
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Let me shock you, madam.
Okay, sir.
ChatGPT can arrange your references, no matter how messed up they are. Let's say it is
Really?
messed up.
Of
It
course,
can.
now.
That's why I said, if anybody wants to learn how to use ChatGPT for academic research, so that you don't feel like a fraud, I can put you through, and you won't feel like a fraud because you're not doing anything fraudulent. No,
Okay.
just see ChatGPT as your. You know how you have
As
personal
Google
assistant,
now.
your
Yes,
executive
don't
assistant in
mind
the
that my
workplace.
husband. It was my husband that was discouraging me.
You
Don't
know,
mind him. But now
that's
I,
what
I know better.
ChatGPT is. Exactly.
I know better now. Dr. Good luck. I really appreciate this, honestly. Like, thank you so very much. Let me
It's
go.
all right.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. God bless
All
you.
right.
All
Any
right.
other question, clarifications?
Bolu, do you have question? Um, allow you, Paul. I think we've done great. We've covered so many things this evening.
So I don't know. Everybody is mute. I think we
Yeah,
have done well. It's
yeah.
time to sign off.
Okay, thank you very much. Paul is saying that this was so helpful, and I'm sure that's
Oh,
what
okay.
every other person is saying. Thank you very
Okay.
much, sir, for your wonderful time that you spent. Okay, the guy is saying, but can we get the prompt to read? Oh,
I should give you my prompt, right? Go and create your own.
okay, God bless. Okay, no, Wala, thank you very much, sir. And I'm
It's all
thinking we're
right.
going to call it a day here. As we progress in the course of the semester, if there are needs for us to, hold more lessons, I'll let you know. Dr. Debbie, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It will be nice to
No,
have some of your younger students join maybe in our next class, maybe those that are still doing their chapter 1 or thereabouts. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody.